We booked this place 2 years ago for the first time, and it was just us. And we were like, if nobody else buys into this thing, you and I are going to have a hell of a party.
Right.
And it was going to be just us. But with me doing pickups, I know a lot of different guitar builders and companies and stuff. So we reached out to some of them. Carlos had people he reached out to, but we're both just not corporate people. And my whole business and his is not based on what a corporate spreadsheet would say is the next thing we're going to do the coming fiscal year and whatnot. And this show is kind of that. So this was
Sorry to interrupt you. This is, I gotta feel that this is more like one-on-one interaction with the, I don't want to call consumers, I want to call fans, music fans, guitar, instruments. So I think that's the concept.
And small innovators and just people that have a passion for doing stuff that the first thought isn't, I wonder how this is going to sell. Of course, you have to worry about that, but the first thought is there's a void here, and this show kind of came out of it. We're that way with our businesses, is that there is a void that I think that could fill a market. A lot of these guys, I don't know if they could afford to get a booth at NAMM, and if they did, they may be lost on an aisle and not get the showcase that they deserve.
You're watching Guitar State with Alex Lopez.
All right, guys, we're here Friday, another day in NAMM, but here we are at Woodwire Bolt. We're here with Carlos Lopez, we're with Curtis Novak. And we just found out about this great trade show, and I asked these two guys to give us the breakdown about this great place. We just found out. I'm excited to be here, guys. I really appreciate the time that you're sharing with us. So
thank you for coming.
Well, this is awesome, and more people need to know about this great event. So, can you tell us a little bit about? Well, introduce yourself. Everybody in the guitar community knows who you are, and I'm sure with you as well. But can you introduce yourselves to kind of like?
I'm Carlos Lopez from Casadosa Guitars, and this is my partner Curtis Novak. And we came together. This was our idea, and we just made it a reality. And you know, that's all I really have to say about it. And you know, and Curtis could really explain it and go into depth of how this came together.
Awesome. All right. Curtis, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I worked with Carlos when he was at the Fender Custom Shop. I do kind of odd restoration pickups, rare pickups, odd pickups, and then the standard line. And so we've been pals forever. And we both had done the NAMM show, and it was good. We have nothing against NAMM, but it wasn't our vibe. And we like work more with the general public, and we like to be seen a little bit more. And it was way too. It's like trying to drink water from a fire hose. And so we just wanted a smaller venue. And when we saw this place, we were both looking for what's the next thing. And we saw this venue, and him and I, we were like, we got this. Carlos was like, you figure it out, I'll put my money down. And we booked this place 2 years ago for the first time. And it was just us. And we were like, if nobody else buys into this thing, you and I are going to have a hell of a party.
Right.
And it was going to be just us. But with me doing pickups, I know a lot of different guitar builders and companies and stuff. So we reached out to some of them. Carlos had people he reached out to, but we're both just not corporate people. And my whole business and his is not based on what a corporate spreadsheet would say is the next thing we're going to do the coming fiscal year and whatnot. And this show is kind of that. So this was just...
Sorry to interrupt you. This is, I gotta feel that this is more like one-on-one interaction with the, I don't want to call consumers, I want to call fans, music fans, guitar, instruments. So I think that's the concept.
And small innovators and just people that have a passion for doing stuff that the first thought isn't, I wonder how this is going to sell. Of course, you have to worry about that, but the first thought is there's a void here, and this show kind of came out of it. We're that way with our businesses, is that there is a void that I think that could fill a market. A lot of these guys, I don't know if they could afford to get a booth at NAMM, and if they did, they may be lost on an aisle and not get the showcase that they deserve.
Right.
And so it's just a community of.
That's really important. Sorry to interrupt you. I will
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
interrupting you just
No,
to
you're
kind of
good.
like.
Go ahead. I'll
So
talk if
you
you don't.
mentioned two keywords: showcase and affordability. Because I've seen a lot of great, like innovators, but don't have the funds to be like on the main floor, and they're down there that nobody
Yeah.
knows about them. But and you say community, the guitar community. How long you guys been? How many NAMMs have you done combined? Like
A lot. I think I've been a lot.
right.
Yeah.
For years, I was one of the smaller guys, and I never did a NAMM booth. I just walked the floor, but for probably 20 years, I did that. I did one NAMM show,
Right.
and because I felt like I used to walk the floor and meet people, and I worked with a lot of other builders, and it started over time getting to be I was everywhere and nowhere, and everyone that wanted to find me couldn't find me because I'm walking the floor. So I got a booth, so I was in one location.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure how it was going to be. It was a good 10 by 10 on Hall D, and my booth was slammed the whole show. It was everyone was in there like that, and it was tight. But had a lot of good artists that I work with do it, but nobody could hear you talk, and you're having to scream into other people's ear, and it was just the noise level was higher than what we were comfortable with. But and then COVID hit, and then I thought whenever we were past COVID and I was looking at what to do next, that's when I ran into Carlos, and he's trying to find what to do next. And I just, it was good. But as I said, it's like trying to get a drink of water from a fire hose. It was too much, too fast. And
Talking about community or vendors or innovators, what is the process to get a space here moving forward? Let's see if someone's watching this and just I didn't know, now I know. What's the process? What's the procedure?
to be a vendor here, or
Yes,
just
to be a vendor. To be
so it's hard. You got to reach out to us. I did last year's show myself as a proof of concept, and it about broke me because I'm a pickup artist.
okay.
I do that. I ended up, it's like I'm a rock band, and I had to build a bar to
Right.
play in because I didn't like any of the bars at the sound system.
That's like,
and it's like I
the
don't wanna-
Ozfest, you created your fest yourself. You can,
yeah,
you-
and I just want to play good. I just want to play in a band on a rad stage. I don't want to run a bar.
right.
And so after the first year, we both high-fived each other, and it was a success. And we both said to each other, "This is great. I'd love to. I don't want to run the show. I want to exhibit at the show."
Yeah.
And we were, I've trademarked it. We've branded it. We've got everything set. But then we were like, "What are we going to do?" And we both kind of were ready to walk away. And Carlos's wife stepped up, Stephanie, and she said, "I'll do the show." And we were like, "All right, if you want to run it." And so I've been backfilling her and kind of coaching her along. And
Quick question about the first show. What were your expectations of the first show? Did you expect the response that you guys received on the first show, or it was like
I was alpha pluxing. I was like, one moment, what are we going to do if we get swamped? And the next time, what are we going to do if nobody shows? And in the end, it worked out. It was a good balance for a first show. We had a huge turnout for not really having. We had some awesome people here, so we knew it. But we're not promoters, we're not marketers, we're not any of that stuff. You just got the internet and people that share it. But I was impressed enough to know that it wasn't a flop, and found out that there's a whole lot more people that think like Carlos and I that were
Right.
there. And
Let me ask you a question, Carlos. I know you worked for Fender Custom Shop prior. I see a Fender Custom Shop booth here. How is that, being in the industry for so many years? I'm not sure how many years you've been building guitars, but now you're handling your own brand. What's the name of your brand again?
It's Casadosi.
Okay, how many years you have your brand?
It's gonna be 5 years.
And how is that, like now Fender is here at this convention and you have, this is your show. How does it feel?
It feels good. We're all friends here. I know all of the builders. They come to my house. So, we have barbecues together still. And so they're very proud of what I'm doing. And so it was really just a phone call. Eddie, you guys should come. And the word got out and they agreed and they're here.
And that's awesome that you shared that we're all friends.
Yeah.
You know, like going back to what you said, community. Everybody knows each other. This is not like, oh, you're no longer working with Fender, so you're not part. We're not cool anymore. Because I think everybody that works there is like you
yeah.
guys, right?
We're all family. We're all family.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, moving forward, like myself and my friend Andre, we're like, man, this is cool. I was joking around in the car. I said, look, few people go here, the others go to NAMM, just joking around. But the truth is, what's going to happen if this starts growing?
Well, the good thing about it is it won't. It can't, because this venue is only going to hold so many people, and this venue is like us. That was the thing when we saw this. We looked around the area. There's other venues. We could have got something at the Radisson in the ballroom or some of these other places. This venue is us, and it fit our vibe, and so it's only going to ever be what we can get here, and our struggle's going to be as I don't.
The people, it will get sold out. So it's like buy your ticket. Bottom line.
Yeah, the show might the show. Yeah, it might sell out this time, but it's going to be what it is. But we can only have so many vendors, and we haven't figured out how we're going to. Some people may be great, but we may have to rotate some people out one year to the next. We haven't solved that problem.
That was
yet.
my next question: is what is the criteria to be a vendor at this show?
It's
so far?
kind of, when I did it last year, and I didn't have as much of a hand on it, but it's the same group. One of the tenets of doing this is it's a curated group of like-minded builders.
Okay.
And we curate this group. So where I thought it was a success was a lot of people said it was a good mix of people, and they all kind of were different but the same. And you were talking about rivalries. I felt what the biggest success I had last year was Bill came and Carlos was here, and built guitars, and Carlos was at Fender, and there was this whole rivalry from the fans of these companies that Fender originally did the Marauder, and then Bill kind of redid the Marauder later, and the Fender fans were like, those people are copying Fender and stealing Fender stuff, and the Fender guys hated the Built people. And then when Fender started making the Marauder again, Carlos here with me, he redid the Marauder. All the Built people were like, Fender's stealing Built's idea.
Oh, okay.
That was originally Fender's idea, they forget. But the builders, it wasn't the builders, it was all the people
fans.
below them.
They're the fans, right?
And, yeah,
I mean,
and
they-
so when
they are the ones that
my
created-
success is that I brought these guys together, and the master builders from the custom shop, and they all came together, and they're like, we're the same.
Exactly.
And I knew that because I had worked with all these people, and I'm like, you guys are just like those people, and those people are just like this people. So this year, Carlos,
Now we're buddies.
now they're buddies, and they actually have a booth next to each other, and they collaborated on an instrument.
That's awesome. Look, there's so many words that you keep saying. Now you say collaboration because community.
Yeah.
We're bodies, and that's what it is. And yeah, the fans, they do get a little like emotional and stuff like that. But to me, like just hearing you, the way you see your community, your fellow master guitar builder, that you guys like camaraderie, your friends. So now, the times that we live right now, when there's like corporate guitars from $100 all the way to the custom shops that varies depending what type of guitar. How long does it take for you to build a guitar, and what's the average price of an instrument you're gonna find on this show? So people are like, you don't have to come here and buy it. It's like just come and see it. But there's people that want to buy it. Can they buy here, or what's the deal?
That was the other element of NAMM that we wanted that NAMM doesn't provide. At NAMM, you can't even sell a t-shirt. You're not allowed to sell anything at the show. And I know a lot of these guys are small builders. Some of them they want to sell, others don't have to. But like the pedal market is it's so rocked right now with what's going on, and so it gives them a chance to not only meet people, but they can sell stuff to pay for their hotel room
Right.
and pay for their travel to get here and meet new people. So it's and you were asking the cost, and I don't know. I don't know what the average of anything is.
Right. But
But it-
people can buy here.
Oh yeah.
And that's a key component that you said. I was talking to him about last year. I bought pedal board from the guys downstairs.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I told my friend. I was like, this is gonna pay his dinner tonight.
Yes.
You know,
Because
because
we're all
they're-
that small.
exactly. You know, it's like and when you're not allowed to sell, it's like I'm here to just showcase. I don't know your financials, but hopefully they are good because you know it costs to be there.
But yeah, the end cost after travel, hotel, and the booth, everything, you spend like 20 grand, and you're not making any.
Right.
And for a big corporation, it's not a big deal. When you're a small mom and pop, your family business, that's a big deal. And Carlos, a short story. It was really funny when he was at Fender. I would come in and you know my wife and I would come in, or we'd bring our daughter sometimes, and we would talk about projects and stuff. And then when he quit Fender and he went out on his own, and I called him up to thank him, he said, "I did it because of you." And I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" I was because he knew I used to be corporate
Right.
before that, and I just walked away. And he's a wonderful family man. He's got a beautiful wife and 2 kids. And he said, "I'm toiling away, sitting in traffic to get to work, sitting in an office with no windows, working my ass off, doing all this stuff. And then I go home and I've missed my kids. I've missed everything about it." And he said, "I would get such a pleasure out of watching you and Sherry come in. And we're husband and wife. We work together. We garden. We do all this agrarian stuff. And we're just family." And he said, "Of everything I had at Fender, I wanted that." And
Look, and this whole thing about the working a corporate and this and that, there's nothing wrong working for a company.
wrong.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
There's a lot of talented people at Fender and in all these companies.
No, I have nothing against it. It's not me.
However, what would you tell to that guitar builder, you know, or big creators that work in a corporate that thinking, I want to do my own thing, but you know, the security of a steady paycheck, this and that. What would you tell to those guys that they're thinking, but they don't know where to start? That's just, you know, there's a lot of people on that bed.
Well, the only thing advice I can say is just start. No matter where you're at, start.
Love it. Start. I was in Nashville last week, and I had a conversation with someone at Gibson, and I saw like, oh, so you want to hit that direction? And there's like this guy that started making guitars that was working for Gibson, but yeah, you know, it takes guts also, you know, to do it.
My advice, don't quit your day job.
Okay.
Keep your day job. Don't quit your day job. And because I didn't for a long time, and I know you didn't. It's what you do at night when you go home. You either sit on the couch and watch TV, or you go or you go to your shop. And I do my day job, and that's self-funded. And that way I didn't have to sell my soul. I didn't have to take out loans. I could pay a mortgage. I could, and everything else. And one day your dream might get bigger than your day job. And then you just step over to the other life. But I would never, that's what scared me with you. I'm like, dude, I hope you thought this out. Because there's no pension.
Exactly.
But we're both R&D. We're both, when you're that level, the corporate environment, it's important. You have to have the structure, but it can be constructive. And it's frustrating. You can work for a wonderful company, and I don't blame any of my bosses for ever doing it, but they're like, that's a wonderful idea, but we're not going that way. And it's like, and it just deflates.
You don't close the
I've been up all night long thinking about this rad new thing, and I think it's going to be killer. And you get shot down. You can only deal with that so much.
I love the combination of your answers, start, and kind of like, don't quit your job. You know, you don't want to go broke.
You got to pay rent, man.
Exactly. So it's kind of like be realistic at the same time. You need to have a plan Because desire is one thing, and action and execution, but at the end of the day, it's the end of the month. You have, you know,
You got to have a funding source, and if you don't have a solid funding source, it doesn't matter how good your idea is. And if you got to take out a bunch of loans
right.
to do that, and you don't have a way
It
to
won't be
pay it,
sustainable, and
Yeah.
you know, you will fail. Now, to end this wonderful conversation with you guys, I feel privileged having this conversation with you guys. What would like you to do an invitation to the people that was not aware, like myself, about wood wire and bolts? When the tickets go on sale, what's the procedure so people are aware for next year? What's the deal?
that's a tough one because it's they probably, if we were corporate, there would be a schedule and it'd go in a lot quicker. I think it'll be better next year. Stephanie's gonna have a better handle on it, but just watch the website and watch
Website, Instagram, and there, right? Those,
yeah, and you'll see them out, and you can get tickets a day of show. Do the raffle. There is some amazing raffle items.
Okay.
We're using that. Part of it's goes to charity. We're not doing this for profit, but we're trying to keep from losing too much money. So we got awesome raffle items, and you'll see all that on the site. But you know, it kind of goes dormant after the show, and we go back to our normal jobs. But it'll be there.
So, and this is the 3-day?
3 day.
3 days.
Yeah, the first day was kind of a soft rollout. We had it open for people, any buyer and vendor from NAMM to walk over. And then last night was our private party for dealers and everything. And then these next 2 days are open to the public.
Awesome.
Tickets at the door, tickets online.
All right. So, guys, Carlos, Curtis, it's a pleasure meeting you in person. And thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for doing this because honestly, this needed to be created.
It did.
It needed, because you know, I've been going to NAMM over the years, but I don't see improvement. I'm seeing the other way, you know. It's kind of like, and this is kind of fresh, smaller, but it's like quality, you know,
Yes.
kind of like the less is more thing.
Yes.
And here, so guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, follow these guys, go to the website, go to Instagram, and come and support the community. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, man. All right.
All right.